Two of the biggest names in Hollywood, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr., have played pivotal roles in one of the most successful movie franchises of all time, the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But who truly holds the title of the real sheriff in town? Who's making the most money? Who's more vital to the Marvel Universe? And how will their upcoming cooperation in Marvel's Doomsday movie shake things up? Let's break it all down. It's no surprise that when it comes to A-list actors, Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans stand tall. Both have delivered iconic performances that have shaped the MCU, but beyond the roles of Tony Stark and Captain America, there's so much more at play. Today, we're diving deep into their careers, their finances, their brand strength, and what the future holds for both stars as they join forces once more in Marvel's Doomsday. Who makes more money? Let's kick things off with the all-important question. Who makes more money? When it comes to earnings, both actors have seen their fortunes skyrocket because of their roles in the MCU. However, they've taken different paths to get there. Robert Downey Jr. is, without a doubt, one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood. His portrayal of Tony Stark as Iron Man made him a household name and a fan favorite. But it's not just his acting salary that boosted his wealth, it's his lucrative deal with Marvel. In the early years of the MCU, RDJ earned a relatively modest salary, around $500,000 for the first Iron Man movie in 2008. But his deal evolved over time. For Avengers: Endgame, Robert Downey Jr. reportedly earned a staggering $75 million, which included his upfront fee and a share of the movie's massive box office profits. This type of back-end deal is a game-changer, and it's one of the reasons RDJ's earnings from the MCU far exceed that of most other actors. On the other hand, Chris Evans, who is best known for his role as Captain America, initially didn't command the same kind of salary. But that's not to say his earnings are anything to scoff at. For example, his paycheck for Captain America. The first Avenger was about $3 million. As the franchise progressed, so did his pay. For Avengers: Endgame, it's reported that Evans earned around $15 million, a fraction of RDJ's cut, but still an impressive sum by Hollywood standards. It's clear that Robert Downey Jr. has a major edge when it comes to salary. His later Avengers films, which marked the conclusion of Tony Stark's arc, made him one of the highest-paid actors in Hollywood, whereas Chris Evans has seen steady growth but hasn't reached the same earnings potential. Who's more important for Marvel? Now, let's dive into something more subjective. Who's more important for Marvel? The MCU has always been an ensemble franchise, but there's no denying that both Tony Stark and Captain America were the pillars of the story during the Infinity Saga. But who was more crucial for the MCU's success? Robert Downey Jr. is the MCU's heart and soul. It all started with Iron Man in 2008, which set the tone for the entire Marvel Cinematic Universe. Downey's charismatic performance, combined with Tony Stark's journey of growth and redemption, was the foundation for everything that followed. He was the key figure in launching the Avengers and ultimately played a central role in the Infinity War and Endgame sagas. RDJ's Tony Stark was the linchpin that connected multiple characters and storylines. Not only did RDJ's Iron Man contribute to the narrative, but his unique character arc created emotional weight that made the ending of Avengers. Endgame a game-changer for the MCU. The death of Tony Stark left fans in tears and signified the end of an era. Without Robert Downey Jr.'s portrayal, the MCU would have likely struggled to achieve the same level of success. Chris Evans' Captain America, on the other hand, is the moral compass of the MCU. Where Tony Stark represents the flawed genius with a sharp edge, Captain America is the embodiment of idealism, righteousness, and loyalty. His arc, particularly in Captain America, The Winter Soldier, and Captain America: Civil War, allowed the MCU to explore deeper themes about freedom, trust, and the consequences of power. Cap's involvement in the Infinity Saga is equally important. His leadership role in the Avengers was critical, and his ultimate decision to return to the past in Endgame and retire in the 1940s resonated with fans on a deeply emotional level. His arc was one of personal sacrifice, with the ultimate reward being the passing of the shield to Sam Wilson, Falcon. So, who's more important to Marvel? It's tough to say. Tony Stark gave the MCU its spark, but Captain America helped to give it its heart and soul. Both characters are essential, and their respective importance depends on the lens through which you view the MCU. Whose brand is stronger? When we look at brand strength, we have to consider both the characters and the actors behind them. But it's also essential to explore how these stars have managed their public images outside of their Marvel roles. Robert Downey Jr.'s brand is all about reinvention and resilience. Before becoming Iron Man, RDJ was known for his turbulent personal life and struggles with addiction. His comeback story has been well documented, and it resonates with a lot of people who admire his ability to bounce back stronger than ever. He transformed his reputation through his work in Iron Man and became a beloved figure worldwide. His charm, wit, and down-to-earth personality have only added to his appeal. Beyond Marvel, RDJ has pursued various ventures, including production companies and philanthropic efforts. His brand extends beyond the MCU, allowing him to maintain a level of influence in Hollywood. He's also starred in other big projects like Sherlock Holmes, which further solidified his brand. Chris Evans, on the other hand, has cultivated a brand of humility, sincerity, and class. As Captain America, Evans became the ultimate symbol of integrity and righteousness. His off-screen persona mirrors this, as he is known for his strong moral compass and advocacy for social causes. He's particularly vocal about issues such as equality, social justice, and mental health. Evans' post-MCU career has seen him branch out into directing and producing, with projects like Before We Go and The Gray Man. He's also been praised for his advocacy for inclusivity and his willingness to speak out about important social issues. Chris Evans' brand has a reputation for being thoughtful, responsible, and grounded. In terms of brand strength, both actors have immense appeal, but Robert Downey Jr.'s brand has had a longer run of worldwide dominance, thanks to his early MCU success and enduring cultural influence. Chris Evans, however, is rising fast and could potentially surpass RDJ in terms of long-term public image due to his work in diverse roles and his advocacy efforts. Their new cooperation in Marvel's Doomsday movie. Now, let's turn our attention to the future, specifically to their upcoming cooperation in the highly anticipated Marvel film Doomsday. This new chapter in the MCU has fans buzzing, especially given the dynamic between Tony Stark and Captain America in previous films. In Doomsday, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. are expected to reunite for a storyline that will reshape the MCU. While details are scarce, it's been speculated that both characters could return in some form, whether through flashbacks, alternate universes, or new characters entirely. Some fans even hope that Tony Stark's legacy will play a pivotal role in the plot, potentially setting up future arcs that will involve time travel, multiverses, or even the resurrection of key characters. The chemistry between Evans and Downey Jr. is undeniable, and their reunion is poised to be a highlight for Marvel fans. Their contrasting personalities, Evans' earnest, principled approach, and RDJ's sarcastic, quick-witted nature could make for a thrilling dynamic on screen. The combination of their brands, both on and off the screen, will undoubtedly bring new layers of depth to their roles, making Doomsday a must-watch. So, who's the real sheriff in town? Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans? While RDJ takes the lead in terms of salary and brand strength, both actors are integral to the MCU's success. Their unique contributions, whether through Tony Stark's leadership and legacy or Captain America's moral compass and sacrifice, have made the Marvel Cinematic Universe what it is today. And as they join forces again in Doomsday, there's no doubt that their cooperation will mark a new era in the MCU. Ultimately, both are legends in their own right. But who's the real sheriff? It might just be the fans who decide that, as they continue to support these incredible actors in whatever roles they play, both inside and outside the Marvel Universe. If you loved this breakdown of Chris Evans versus Robert Downey Jr., don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more in-depth Marvel analyses and all things superhero. Let us know in the comments who you think is the real sheriff, Evans or Downey Jr. See you in the next video.